Hi, Shay. Hello. Uh, hello, Joe Reyes. Oh, I've been good. Were you on my lives before? Oh, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm better. Oh, okay. This is your first time. Hello. Uh, oh, okay. Where's Aurora? I need you so you can block. So you want to wear girl clothes? Well, my channel is about plus size fashion, like fashion for bigger women and stuff like that. Shay, so I'm gonna try to do it live again. I was for Sunshine if she sees this, because I promised I would go live later on in the day, but it might get crazy too. So I might have to do a whole nother live just for her not to miss it. Oh, let's see. Hello, Yoshi Jones. Oh, Yoshi, I see a picture of Yoshi. I, I was trying to say hi to everybody, but I miss some people. I think. Did I miss somebody? Yoshi, Asdu. Yeah, I saw your comment. I was trying to say you want to wear. So you said you're a boy, but you want to wear women's clothing. Clothing? Is that what you're saying? Hi, Sekan, or I don't know how you say that. So, I mean, yeah, you're free to do as you please. Nobody can stop you if that's what you want. But if you're younger, I mean, is your family gonna have an issue with that in any way? I mean, you have to live your life. Um, Really, because at the end of the day, you're gonna do what makes you happy, you know. So I believe in that. I think he says say. So I don't know. I think I missed like two lives. My back was kind of hurting. And then I had to work with my husband a couple yesterday, and then hello. So I've been I was just taking it easy with my back too. What happened with my lips? Uh, are you harassing me? Bye, Isabella. We don't need negativity on my live. Adios. Blocked. I need my Aurora. Where's Aurora to block this? Hi, Abdella. I don't do shout outs. I'm 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 whatever you want to call me. I'm plus size, thick, overweight, whatever you want to. She's not beautiful to say something like that to me. She just called me, said my forehead was big. So no, that's not okay on my life. It's not here. I'm not here for people to be making fun of people. Yeah, I don't do shout outs. I'm sorry. It's usually at this time that people start getting crazy in my comments. So I just try to go live at this time. I don't even know why I did that. I'm trying to avoid 3 p.m. No, you didn't say that. I'm saying whoever was there before Isabella, she left me that comment, and I didn't appreciate that. Yeah, you said hello. There was nothing wrong with what you said. Oh, I mean, I thank you, but I'm just saying that, see, Trevor blocked out of my life. Hi, Mark. So, I love myself. I know I'm beautiful. So you, whatever you want to say, that's all on you. But you don't bring it to my live. I block it. I'm not gonna no. So you can also be blocked too because you saw she left me a comment being rude and you want to support that. That's not okay. So you can all go as well and get out of my life. I thought you were nice and I was being nice to you. So you gotta go too. How is somebody being respectful and just said something to me? No. Oh, I'm in the U.S. originally from East Africa though. So and also that I don't need those comments. So people that are want to have a conversation, you're more than welcome to talk about anything you want to talk about. I don't mind. But if I see that you're trying to be rude or leaving me certain comments, out. Did you see what the comment was before you say that, Swift? Did you see what the comment was? Yeah, you guys can all leave. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not here to beg for views. So whoever wants to leave, you guys can all leave. Because around this time, you seem to be all crazy, leaving me weird comments. You can leave with, I don't care if I'm talking to one person. I'm not here for fame or whatever everybody else is. Hey, Sunshine, perfect timing. Yeah, they want to support other people saying negative things to other people. That's not okay. That's not what the comment was. You didn't read it. Okay, bye, Manuel. You can be blocked too. Out of my comments. I have, you said what? I have a topic is Texas. I've never had that though. Hi, D Green. Hi, Nick Kerr. How are you? So all the positive, wonderful people that want to have good conversations, let's do that. I'm trying to remove all the negative people on here first. Yeah, Sunshine, I was going to come back later because I promised you I would come back after 4. So it's like almost 3 right here. So I was going to come back a little bit later for you, so we can. Oh, yeah, exactly. But they want to correct me and tell me not to block people when they're being negative. Yeah, I don't support that. If you're negative to me, you're blocked, hidden from my channel. You know what I mean? If you're positive, let's talk. Let's have a good time. And oh, I remind you of someone who I love. Oh, hi, thank you, Nick Kerr. Yeah, I'm very positive, and I try to be on the lives. Just talking to you guys. But then it's like when somebody's being negative and another person supports that, that's not okay. Like you're being nice and you're saying hello, and then you person that came in was being rude. So if they get blocked, you guys, whoever doesn't want to be here, you can leave. I don't care. Subway, because a lot of people said they have a lot of chemicals and I don't know, some of the veggies and stuff is not good or something like that. I don't know what that means. You keep saying that, but I don't know what that means. Yeah, it's not fresh or something is going on. Like they have like the bread. I heard that it's not even real bread. Oh, I've been in the U.S. since I was 6, and I'm 43 now. So a couple years. I plan to go back and visit my parents who retired to Kenya. Yeah, yeah, I plan to do that. But right now it's just a matter of planning it because it's quite expensive to go to Kenya. What do you mean? I'm 43. Why do you guys? The funniest thing is a lot of people think I'm younger than I am. So I don't know. I'm 43. I can show you guys my ID and everything. I'm. Oh, thank you, coffee. You always wanted to go to Africa. Okay. Aurora, I need. Where's my moderator to help me block some people? Oh. Yeah, Africa is beautiful, especially Kenya. Like a lot of people go on safaris. Like it's so wonderful. Hi, Oscar. Coffee, but it's a name mistake. Oh, wait, not like Kofi Olomide, right? Somebody's giving me the likes. Who is that? I need a little bell. I'm gonna be doing a little bell every time I see people giving me likes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I thought it was the other. Okay, that I said it wrong. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. You know, um, I think one of the things I could say is a lot of African women are very confident. Um, really, really confident. We kind of, hello, John, AK-47. What? So around 3 p.m. I've noticed whenever I come on here, no, I'm not on Telegram. What, at 3 p.m. I've noticed there's a lot of people in here that are, oh, I'm very tall and I'm bigger. So I'm about a size 11. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I messed up my skin, but yeah, we usually have like smooth skin, not a lot of issues. You're back? I thought you wanted me to come on the live after 4, Sunshine. Yeah, I have huge feet. I have wide feet, and it's hard for me to find shoes. That's one of my frustrations. No, I'm actually married, so no. Ah, you're funny. I'm married, yeah, so no. My husband would not appreciate that. I can't. Well, I mean, in other countries you can have more than one. Oh yeah, no problem. I mean, yeah, you know what? One thing I'd give myself credit for. I'm very classy, and I try to be respectful. But if you start with me in some way, it's like that. Hi, Bailey from Uganda. I'm Kenyan, so oh, after 7, but between 4 to 7, right? You're available. Because I was like, I need to go, but then later on today's gonna be crazy, so I might have to do it tomorrow and go to like around 4. You, ew, toothbrush, ew. Yes, I've seen that show. I love watching the original one. I think they did a Netflix one, so a lot of people don't like it. They don't like the Netflix one. I like the original. But you know what? The way people are so picky about every little thing on there, it's ridiculous. Like, I think at this point it's just a show anyway. Like, oh, I've been married for about 8 years. They're so shallow. Yeah, it's like, yeah, they're super shallow, and things that don't really matter. This is what I've learned, right? Because I remember in my 20s, early 30s, I was like a little bit like that, right? And over time, what I noticed is that the people that I wanted, like the guys that I was attracted to, were just problematic a lot. Like the tall, dark, and handsome and all that just was a lot of problems. And I had to look different. Like literally after my long-term relationship ended, I had to do something different. So I met my husband now, who is 5'10" and he's about 5'8". He's shorter, but he has such amazing qualities, and I had to kind of look beyond that because his character was so much better, and he treated me so well, and he's an amazing husband, you know. And I look at him now, and he's been through so much stuff, you know. And I've been there. I've been there for him, and he's been there for me. And I realize that that stuff really don't matter when things are really not going good. Like when things are hard, like he was sometimes in the hospital sometimes, and I remember just praying for him to get better. You know what I mean? Like when you're sitting on the side of the bed with that person and they're not doing well, and you have to be there, and the doctors are talking to you, giving you what's going on, and it is hard, guys. And those things don't matter at all. Like they don't. You know, you just want that person to get better. And I was in tears sometimes because I'm like, this is so much for me. Good, awesome. Okay, good, sunshine. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that stuff really don't matter. Like I remember I was really caught up in like a tall man, like back in my like early 30s. Oh yeah, you gotta be tall. You gotta be tall. But all the tall men that I met that were handsome really was it was so many issues every single time. I had so many problems. It was always something. Like I just felt like I could not be myself around them. They were constantly doing this, and I felt like I had to watch my back constantly. Like I could not trust them, and it just became too much for me. And I was like, I need to do something completely different. And even then, I was really nervous about dating outside, but I took a risk. Yeah, I took a risk. Hi, Jaden. Yeah, I took a risk because you know, oh, one of my secret. Okay, I can tell you guys some stuff. Okay. One of the things is you really have to find somebody that you like. I'm talking about not just the physical thing, but you actually like them, because what happens is when things get hard, if you don't like that person, you can be like, you know what? I'm checking out. I'm getting a divorce. I'm out of here every single time, because I did that with all my exes. Anytime something was wrong that they annoyed me, I was packing my stuff and I'm out the door. What I've noticed with my husband, no matter how much we are like going through something, like I'm mad about something, I can just come down, like get my space. Yeah, yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I was about to. Thank you, because I was about to. Yeah, he's being really, really like, ugh. I don't know what happened to my other moderator. Let me put you on as a moderator if you see something too. Let's see. Sunshine, you could be add as a moderator. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So that's one of the things that I realized. If at the end of the day I like him as a person, like I can literally like I'd be mad at him for a little bit, but I don't get mad to the point where I want to pack my bags and leave. Hi. Hello, Amber. I never had that feeling. With other exes, I was ready to go. Every time they did something, I was packing my bags. I'm from East Africa, but I live in the US. I was ready to go. So that's one of the things that I really, you have to like that person. That person has to be, you know, people say like your best friend, but they have to be somebody you're just super comfortable with, and in so many different ways. Like they make you just, you're just yourself around them. You don't filter, you know? Hi. Thank you. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things I've realized. I've also realized that don't be too caught up in the wedding. You know, be like, oh, the wedding this, the wedding there, that. Really think about the long run. Like, you know, I like I say, like we didn't have a big wedding or anything like that. We want to have a big party later on, and really celebrate that, because we kind of did like a courthouse thing. Um, And because we know we had our son, like a lot of stuff was going on, and we just kind of did that. But one of the things I realized, like now, it's like it's not important. The big celebration and doing all that is not really important. Just do the best that you can, and when you guys are getting together, um, I don't have a problem with anyone. No, well, yeah, because I'm 43 now, and he's 36. So we do have let me see, how long is that of an age gap? Yeah, there's a little bit of an age gap. But it's not too drastic. I don't. It's. I'm trying to use my calculator to find how much that is. Mm, I can't do the math in my head, but you get it. So 43 minus 36. How is that? So there are more people. So this time it's so many people that pop up on my channel. I don't like going live at this time, but anyway. Yeah, thank you. You saw him too. Yeah, about a 70 year. Yeah. So hi Amber, I'm great. So that's another thing, is that don't be too caught up in the wedding itself. Really spend time knowing that person a little bit. I mean, I know there's people who are against getting together before marriage and stuff like that, but I think it's the best thing. Like, just know that person a little more and see if you really can deal with them. Because like my husband, I get mad sometimes at him, but I'm not too mad where I'm like, I'm done, like I'm ready to go. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I've noticed. I don't get mad at him like that. With other people I would get so mad, like it's just like, okay, you said something or we argued about something. Oh, we just take breaks. I'll go cook something, he'll go fix the car or something, and then we'll come back and we're fine. It's not serious. Yes, that happens too, because when I met my husband, actually was at the end of, I was on a dating app. I was on many of them. And then I was about to close the one that I gave up on. Literally, like I was so done. I was checking out. I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to settle to be single. I really was. I was like, let me work on myself, find a career, get a little apartment, and just live life. And then as I was about to close it the day before, he literally messaged me, and I almost missed that message. I was gonna be, because the website that I was on, it had a lot of people that spoke Spanish, and so I got tired of trying to translate back and forth. And so I was like, "Do you speak Spanish? Do you speak English?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Where are you located?" Because I was like also meeting people in other countries that I was like. So he was like, "Yeah, if he was like, yeah, I just moved to your city. He pretty much moved to my city. That's how I found him. Otherwise, we'd have never met." And literally everything was so smooth. It was smooth. The conversation was smooth. Everything. And he literally treated me like, he still treats me like a queen every single day. You know what I mean? He really is. And for me, I had to, because I did something different. If I stuck to what I used to do, my same pattern, I would have never met somebody like that. Because I was really, my pattern was not working. As I say, tall, dark, and handsome was always giving me issues. Like we never clicked. It was always a problem. And so when I saw him, I was like, you're a little bit shorter than me, but at the end of the day, you're not friends anymore. What happened? Like, how long did it take you to realize that? Because, and one of the things is my husband is super protective. Even though I'm the taller one, when the first time he met me, like his car, this guy was having a car issue, and he literally went to help the guy, and that spoke to my heart because I'm like, you're nice, you're kind. He was helping the guy like fix a car. It was almost 10 at night, and he's like, just hold on here, I'll be right back. And he was holding my hand through the whole time, just keeping me like I felt safe for the first time, and I was like, okay, this is feeling good, and this is feeling safe. Literally with him, I never have to watch my back. That's how I knew. I never felt like he's like, I never feel anything behind me, like somebody's up to something. With other people, I was always like just anxious. Oh, it took you a year. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it really is. And every day I'm just like so thankful because, and we have a son together, and my son has some of his qualities and mostly mine. He has a lot of my energy. But I see my son in him. He's very kind, a kind heart. He's always helping someone, and just so generous. And he's also very grateful for life, the way I am. Like we both have that in common. We're so grateful every single day for life. We don't play around with that. you know? And I was nervous, really. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to this is my first time really dating outside of my race." I didn't know what my parents would think, but I trusted my instincts because I felt so safe with him, you know? I felt really safe. And oh, yeah, that's always been there. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah. They say, "How do you know?" He literally, the funniest thing is, he told me, like, I think the second month or third dating, he was like, the second or third month, he was like, "Oh, you're gonna be my wife. I'm gonna give you the real ring." Because I had this fake ring. I was like, "Oh, if somebody bothers me, I'll wear a fake ring." And he was, "No." He's like, "Hold on, I'm gonna give you a real one." And I was like, "You are crazy. Like, what? 3 months? We don't know. We don't know each other yet." And he's literally like, "You're gonna get that ring." Oh, he's from Mexico. He's Mexican. Yeah, Latino or Hispanic. Yeah, yeah. Pretty much, it's still, yeah. The gang, yeah. Culture is, it's everywhere, and yeah. It's a lot going on, especially where I live. I don't live in the best neighborhood. California is so expensive. Like, that's why I say I'm not here telling you guys I'm wealthy, I'm rich, this and that. I am not. We are. My husband works all the time. I've been staying on pretty much with our son for the past couple years, and now I'm ready to go back to work, and so we can help each other out. But it is expensive here, and so I'm always honest about that because I don't front that I'm. It is scary. Yes, it is. It's so scary. It's way scarier than before. 8 years ago, it was not as bad. So much changed. I feel like I should be a dating expert on the dating apps because I went through all of it. It's yeah, it's bad. Yeah. Oh, is it really? Why do you say that? Because I love California, though. You know, I'm great. How do you say Tawa Zahaya? You're from Malawi. Okay, nice. Hi. Yeah, and so for me, now when I say that I watched that show, the Pop the Balloon, I'm just like, you guys are playing because you don't know when things get really hard. When you guys are both struggling to try to make ends meet together, and you're trying to raise a child together. You hate Atlanta, Georgia? Oh, why? What's going on over there? Oh, I'm originally from East Africa. What did he do? Oh, you said hi. I was like, oh, don't say bye because I think it was nice. Yes, yes. I'm originally from East Africa, but I've been in the US for a really long time. Yeah, but somebody asked me about Pop the Balloon, the whole dating thing, and I'm just saying, like, you have to be attracted to someone you're with for sure. You need an attraction. That's important, but it's not the most important because later on you just realize, yeah, superficial. And the women get this rap of every woman is most women are trying to get your money, so a lot of guys are just scared, like they want to. Oh, okay, good. So a lot of men are just like freaked out that every woman wants their money, and so when they find somebody like, but the funniest thing to me is when a man knows you're a real woman and the woman they want, they don't care. They give you that wallet. That's what my husband did when we first met. Like literally, I was like, "You can't give me your wallet. You don't even know me. How do you trust me?" He was like, "Here, take the wallet. Go get whatever you need." And I was like, "No, I don't want to take your wallet. I don't want anything. It's okay." Like I would be like, "No, it's okay." But then he didn't mind. He didn't really mind at all. He was just like, "Take my wallet." So literally, you don't even have to ask a man for money when they like you. You don't. You don't even have to beg and tell him, "Oh, my bills, this bill is due. Help me out." You know what I'm saying? Like, some women are just out here begging men for money. You never have to. Just be yourself. You know? Yes. Yeah, you're right about the expensive homelessness. Yes. Um, the street culture now where I live is not the best. Yeah, you know what? I can't even. I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't live in a good neighborhood, so I can't. I have. I've seen some things, and it's made me a little bit tougher. So I might be sweet as pie, but I've learned some stuff. No, but you know what? Men have become fearful. I understand. I have a son, and I want to raise him to be a gentleman and all that stuff. But I also tell him like, be respectful and all that stuff. But don't let if you are really a nice person and you are talking to a woman and all that, and they're just messed up and rude and all that, then you just walk away, leave it alone. Like at the end of the day, it's a two-way street. You cannot. Like honestly, I know some women might not even like me, but I've never been the type that's after a man's money. I don't care for that because I know when a woman loves you and a man loves you and likes you, they just treat you so amazing. And men have become fearful now because of what's going on where with the movements that, that I don't want to say the word, but the harassment thing, So now a lot of men are just like, like I don't want to be called this because I said hello. Like it's a different time. And it really it's sad to me. It really is. It's sad because like back in the day, like yeah, men yeah did approach but I feel like you really if you like someone, please do approach them because you never know. It might be your future, Just approach them. Because sometimes, women be looking at you, you're looking at them, it's like, well, he didn't say anything to me. Or they look unapproachable because they have a certain face. A G Wagon? Okay, well that's a random topic. You don't even know me. So Sunshine, you're gonna take care of that. I won't even bother with it. Favorite shark? What do you mean? I've never been on the streets. So thank you. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've never been on the streets. But thanks for the negative energy that you just brought in. So Sunshine, do you got it or should I? Thank you. So yeah, pretty much I'm saying like I understand why men are fearful at the end of the day, honestly. Um it's really it's unfortunate. But there's also good people in the world, so just don't give up on it because I really there was a time I was like I'm done. And then the saddest thing for me, I left a 6-year relationship. I was like 34, I think 33, and I was like, man, I have to give up this thing of even trying to have a child. I really wanted to be a mom so badly, and then I was like, oh, this relationship didn't work. I guess I'm gonna be single and no kid. Yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay. I understand that, a man taking you on a date, you guys are getting to know each other, and then over time, you don't mind paying and things like that. Yeah, it works. Yeah. Over time, you get to know each other, and sometimes, you can say, oh, let's go have some coffee, let's go eat together. It's not, oh, he has to pay, he has to pay, he has to pay at all times. No, you're not trying to use someone. That's not how it should be. Like, even my husband when we met, I literally was like, "It's okay, I'll get it," and he's like, "No, don't worry about it." He didn't want me to look at the receipt. He's like taking it. I'm like, "Okay," but I never had to ask, and I never was like using. And you know what he told me? Yeah, oh, that's your first time. You're doing great. You got that. Um, and he was just like, he told me like one time. So he would always be like, "Don't worry about it." Like most of the time, everything was just he was just giving. He was just generous. But then he was like, "You're gonna be my wife," so it makes sense. And later on, I was like, and he's really appreciates everything I do. With our son, like he's always working, and literally like daycare is so pricey here. So we were like, okay, I'm gonna stay home for a little bit. I worked for a little bit. A couple years ago, I was working for a while, and then that did not go that well because the balancing of trying to be a really good mom and really put the time in, especially with school stuff, it just got out of control. And I was like, you know what? I need to go back to being home for a little bit. I think my son was like 5 or 6. I came back home again. And so I was like, whoo, it was tough. Oh, yeah. Not knowing, I don't know, but I do want to know from the source. Okay. Is that the discussion? You're 39, but as a guy, you have more time than a woman though. You know what? I honestly been just been praying to God because I don't know if there was a story where I told you guys like when I was working at the hospital, my stress levels were out of control. I felt like I was losing my hair. I was pulling my hair out. Retail, it was fun to me. I love it because I love clothes, I love fashion, and I was always in that environment. But I think if maybe I was doing something, okay, you already asked me that, so just I just can't deal with it. So I stressed myself out to the point where I was regretting Mondays a lot. And I realized that if I'm doing anything in the medical field, I want to be behind the scenes. I don't want to be in the front where I'm dealing with patients directly. It just took a toll on me. Um, so now it's like I've been on my computer looking for work, and I'm kind of open to what works with my son's schedule. As long as I can be available to take him to school and pick him up, because my husband probably is not able to do that. I have to be able to whatever works with that schedule range. I do have quite a bit of experience in retail though, medical not as much. So I'm kind of in this thing where if it works with my schedule, I might take it. I'm not really being picky about it because the schedule is an issue, you know. Yeah, so the nursing, no, I wasn't doing nursing. I was doing medical assisting. Nursing, I took the two classes, the introduction. I took anatomy and physiology. I got an F. I took another class. I don't know, it was in chemistry or something else, and I failed. So I get nursing was not gonna work. There's no way. Like, you need to give up your social life if you want to do nursing. I just could not, and I just felt so out of place, and I don't know, it wasn't for me. Medical assisting was cool. The pay is lower, but I still have my certification, so I can go back if I do want that. But I just want to. I don't think I want to be like the front person. I want to be behind the scenes. Like I've seen people doing like the ones for like lab jobs, or they're doing this cool job that I saw. It was like it wasn't for you. What was your experience like? What did you not like? Yeah, what was your experience like? Because the stress just it was bad. And also seeing people that were ill, and like I was in a department that dealt with people that had transplants, and it took a toll on me. Like I would be working on a patient's file and then find out like they died like the next day, and I would get some days were just not good. Like when I got home, I just was sad and I was so down. I was overwhelmed with like a lot of typing. My hand started getting so stiff from typing so much. My head was just loaded. Like I would just thaw on the weekends. I couldn't really do anything. Yeah, the energy. Yeah, you know when people are dying around you, you have people that are being transplanted, and they're living. Their life is really dependent on whether this transplant thing works, and also if they're doing what they need to do to survive. So it was like I just started feeling down. I started feeling like I just wanted to get out of there. I really wanted to get out of there, and I was like, oh, I need to do something else if it's in the medical field. Yeah, so that's really it. But the retail one, I would have to do like something with a bigger position if I want to do that and be around that, because I'm used to that. I'm a people person. I enjoy being around clothes, So I was looking at something like with merchandising, the people that do stuff like that. But once again, if it doesn't work with my schedule, I'm not taking it. So my schedule, ideal schedule would be like 4 a.m. to like a 2, because my sons get off by 3 p.m. So, or doing something from like 4 to 11 or 12. Yeah, you could do either one. So when you go to channel, oh yeah, you click their name and do channel activity, and then you remove from the channel. So they will never. They can write comments and stuff, but I can't see them. So they're talking to themselves pretty much. So I like the hide user from channel, but sometimes they create other accounts and come back. So it's annoying too. But YouTube removed the block button. So now when you block people, you're kind of just hiding them, and they're talking to themselves. Anyway, Yeah, so yeah, that's a good question, Sunshine. Like honestly, I prayed about it. I'm like, God guide me on what I'm supposed to do because, and then I also was thinking of being a hairstylist because I do enjoy doing hair, but I would have to go for training for a little bit, to have that license, and then I would, do it at certain times, like maybe at my house, you know, that would be cool. But then I was like, I had a few clients when I tried it out, and I was done. I was like, you know what? People just are rude and trying to like ask me to charge them less, and I'm like, no, I'm not about to, do all this for no. So I feel like God, there is something that keeps coming to me that I feel so like it's so close to tell me what I'm supposed to do, honestly, with my life. But I just need to, it's like I need to clear out everything else for it to come through. Like I feel it so strongly. But every day I'm like, God, what is it supposed to be? Yeah, you do channel activity and then hide user from channel. That takes them away for quite a while. If they create another account, then they'll be back. Um, so that's really, I've just been praying to God. But so far, as long as something works in my son's schedule, I'm good. Some days my husband can pick him up, but most of the time I'm gonna have to do it. So I have to figure out either like 4 a.m. to 11, or I'm doing like maybe 9 to 2. Well, no, like 9 to 1, or doing overnight shifts when I'm back to like 7 a.m. So that I would drop him off and I'm available to pick him up, and then I could leave. But then the problem is leaving for work. It would have to start again at nighttime, so like 11 to 7 type of thing, because then my husband is back home and can be with him, and so that's where I'm at, honestly. I mean, yeah, it's been kind of, when you have a child, it's you have to move things around, and sometimes you just have to take something just because it works with the schedule more than actually what you want. But I'm trying to figure that out. So I'm at that point where I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Um, because yeah, as people ask me, YouTube is not a profession. I'm not trying to do that as a profession. This for me is fun. It's like something that where if I was doing it, it's a side hustle, it's a side income. Maybe it could be my shopping money or something. And help with some bills here and there. But it's not the main thing. I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm really, really been focusing and trying to pray to God about it because I feel it. It's been something that's just like, it's just like, oh, just it's almost there to tell me what exactly I'm supposed to be doing, and it comes a little bit and I'm like, maybe that's not it. Like it's so weird. But I feel it. I feel it, and I'm like, yes, I pray on it, I focus on it, trying to get that energy to just to guide me, because at this point in my life I do want to get that fulfillment. I don't want to just do something too, or just working for, just to pay bills, because I want to find my purpose. That's something I'm struggling with, finding my purpose. um Oh, you're trying to marry a queen? Okay. Well, a lot of people have said that. Other races have mentioned that it's hard to approach black women because they just feel like intimidated in some way, like, and somebody said, like, you see a black woman, they're thinking about a lot of stuff on their head, and sometimes you just like, oh, should I go and say something to her? Yeah, but that's, you want to marry a queen? Okay, that's awesome. Have you tried African women? Yeah, a lot of other races just feel like black women are in their own zone, and they're just so focused on whatever they're doing that they're scared to go approach them. And sometimes there was a whole thing that went viral of this guy that said, "Why y'all black women in the stores and you guys don't even smile?" And the whole thing about smiling is just weird to me, to literally tell women to just smile. I understand, like, okay, I might give a little. But to literally be just smiling and smiling all day, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's like, you guys are not approachable because you're not smiling. But you can't ask a woman to smile. Like, men that have approached me and said, smile. Why are you not smiling? It's like, what? I'm grateful to be alive, yes, but I mean, and if I see somebody that I'm like, okay, I smile, but it's like it's just weird. I don't know. Oh, because you moved, so you don't see them. Oh, dang. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. And the apps are not working, right? I'm not even gonna bother asking because the apps are horrible. I mean, I don't recommend them. I don't recommend them, but I recommend a little bit, but not really. I'm just like, if you're meant to find your person, you can find them in the you dig through the stuff and you'll find them. But also be okay with yourself. You've worked on yourself. Um, work on your trauma and all that. I mean, they're not the best, and people got praise like, yeah, they're not the best, but you have to be so focused on what you want that you're willing to be like, okay, block, I'm not dealing with that. Like literally, you have to remind yourself every single time you get a message or whatever. Focus on what you want. Really be clear on that because if you're not clear, you might end up in the situationship, okay? And you don't want that because I was in a situationship back in the day. Horrible, horrible. I wish I could. I feel like maybe I should tell you guys my situationship story. Ooh, now there's more people coming in and watch. They're all gonna come in because they want to hear about my situationship. I my situation was so it was like 2 to 3 years, and I'm telling you, this guy put me through the ringer, emotionally and physically. So I met somebody on an app, and this person became physically obsessed with me, like physically. Okay, at first it was cool. I'm like, oh, he can't keep, this is cool. He wants me, blah, 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 blah. And then it got to the point where I felt like getting a restraining order because now it was just like, I would make jokes like, oh, like one time I said, oh, you should leave me alone. And they were like, no, I'm never. And I thought they were joking. Yeah, after 3 years, yeah. We were like toxic as F to each other, blocking back and forth, literally, and we would find each other some other way. Like it was so toxic. So I don't recommend situationships because in the end, somebody gets hurt. Yes, yes, yes. I thought at first it's cute. Like girls are like, well, women are like, oh my god, he likes me. Ooh, he can't keep his hands off of me. Things are cool. And then you realize that this person is not all together. Like something is, you know. And I started realizing, I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? Like 3 years in, and I'm like, her, this is not a relationship. This is, and literally when I would bring that up, I'm like, we cannot have a relationship because we're toxic. Like I knew from like the second time meeting that we were just, it wasn't gonna go to that point. And I was attracted to him at first, but then he became not so attractive after his actions started being a little bit concerning. I don't know how to say it. Like, so this person would make promises that they would never keep. So promises that had no actions behind it. This person would say things like, "Hi," would say things like, "Oh, you're gonna be my wife. We're gonna have some babies. I'm gonna take you on trips." Blah blah blah. I never saw none of that stuff, right? So at first I was like, whatever. Later on, this person started putting me through a roller coaster. It would be he would make me feel really good, happy, like saying really like you're beautiful, blah 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 blah. I like spending time with you, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, and then he would say something that would just make my emotions go from super happy and up, and then boop. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it just started getting out of control. Like he would just do this constantly. And then the disappearing acts, I started connecting the dots that this person either was involved with someone, he was living with someone, he had kids or a family somewhere, because he would be disappearing. This was a situationship a couple years ago before I met my husband. I was on a dating app. I met someone, yeah, and it was a roller coaster of boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it was like, yeah. So I really knew that we were not gonna have a relationship, but I think it was exciting at first. That rush of, ooh, we see each other, ooh, we go out or whatever, and then it just started being like something that made me not feel so great. Like my emotions were all over the place. Like I was so angry, I wanted to beat this person up, and then the next he's saying all these sweet nothings in my ear, and I'm like, okay, I forgot about it, and he would just go up and down, up and down. So be careful, guys out there. If you're dating and you know that this is a very bad pattern of how things end up being really messy, and you end up having to get like a restraining order on someone. It's fun at first, but then if you pay attention, because I was, thank God, even when I was younger, I would always be, we have that instinct, we have that intuition. Yes, yes. And it doesn't look like that when you're in it, you know? But I started connecting the dots. Like I could literally write out the stuff that I started noticing, and I said, "Uh-oh." I had to pull myself out of the situation. Like I literally had to leave this person alone and block him. Like change my number and block him completely because I became toxic myself, and I started feeling like you don't get to do the like, it's like I wanted to control them as well. Like you don't get to tell me this and blah blah blah, blah. And we just were going back and forth. We would block each other. We were arguing on the phone, and it was just up and down of a roller coaster. And when I got out of it, I started feeling like, whew. And then that's when I realized, like, oh my gosh, that was a whole toxic situationship. It didn't go anywhere after 3 years, and I knew I deserved better, but I was so stuck in it. Oh, okay, yeah. I. But when you're in it, it's a rush. It's exciting. It's Yes, but it's hard to get out. I'm telling you guys, like it's people can say, "Oh, he's treating you bad. Just get out." It's not as simple because if you don't pay attention and connect the dots, you might think, "Oh, you have something going on," but literally you don't. There's nothing there. It's like they have control over you. They're manipulating you in some ways, and it's this. Ooh, I'm excited, and then you're down. Ooh, I'm excited, you're down, and it's a pattern. They disappear, they come back. They disappear, they come back. And if you don't get yourself out of it, and especially if you're attracted to the person, it's one thing if you're not really like, hey, whatever. But if you're attracted to the person, you have to pull yourself out of there. And it was hard. Like literally having to block this person and change my number and leave them alone, like block them on everything. Because every time I used to do that, they would create other accounts and find me some other way. And so I was like, this is not cool anymore. Like this is getting weird. Like, but I learned from that, and I learned a lot from that. And now like I could see those signs. Yes, yes. And a lot of them are the ones that women say sometimes, "Oh, he's watching my stories, but he doesn't really talk to me," because that makes them feel like they have some control. It's like I don't give you what you want. Like I literally told the guy like the first month that we met what I wanted, and they kept promising, and there was no actions behind it. Like literally I knew, like, this is what I want from you. They're like, okay, oh yeah, but they didn't do it. They never did it. I'm like, I need more communication from you. These are the steps that you need to do for me to be with you in a relationship, because they kept bringing that up. We're in a relationship. I'm like, we're not. These are the things that you have to do to show me that we're in a relationship. You don't just get to pick and take me and say we're in no, it doesn't work like that. You have to have standards. I had standards. Thank God I had standards of what I wanted for my life, and it wasn't that. So for me, that's what helped me in the end. Even though I felt so stuck in it, I just had to be like, I deserve better. I deserve better. And I'm like, I know what I have to offer, like I'm smart, and I was going to college and everything, and I was like, I'm smart. Like this is not it. And so literally I had to pull myself out of a 3 year 3 years of up and down, up and down. Like I started looking at myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening to me? What is happening? This is not me. Like sometimes I would just be sad and down because this person had put me through the ringer mentally. Because it's like one minute we're talking, everything's happy, and they would say something and I completely would lose it. You know? Right. And I was just like, wow, I don't deserve someone. Like I don't deserve someone decent that loves me. That's how I started feeling. Like, why am I going through this? Why am I going through this? And I literally was like, I had to pull myself and just let go. And it was so hard for me because in my mind I was like, I'm attracted to this person. I'm attracted to this person. I'm attracted to this person. But it's like attraction is not, that's not all you need. because this person has to give you what you need, meaning like they're affectionate, for example, they are providers. On top of that, this person was broke. So we were not really like, he wasn't, I'm not talking down on anybody because I'm not rich, but there's certain things like they were not working hard to fix their life. And I'm here going to college and I'm like, this is what I want to do with my life. And this person just had no goals or anything. Like, they were just attractive. And I guess they got away with everything else because some woman was dealing with them, right? Some woman was dealing with them with all the BS. And I just put up with so much stuff. And then when I got out of it, I was like, oh my gosh, I just thank God. I was like, it could have been worse. Hi, Wilson Michael. It could have been worse. So I just warn all the young ladies out there who are dating, like, please, or even men too, please, your instincts will always tell you something. Oh, up here? What do you mean? Nice to see you here. Yeah, so, please pay attention. No matter what is going on, sit quietly with your thoughts and look at this person and say, what are they giving me? Because at the end of the day, this person was not giving me anything. All I was getting was this rush of excitement. And, you're young and you're like, ooh, he's so attractive and he's into me. Yeah. And that was it. You know? Like, we could barely, like, he didn't give me anything, really. And I was like, oh, I have more to offer than that. Like, no, this is not it. So I just blocked him one day. I made up my mind and blocked them. And I changed my stuff. And, you know, they tried to reach out to me. Hi. Great. And I just packed up I just said mentally, I said, I'm done. I deserve more. And so, I had a great mom, like I always say, who always taught me to be confident. She would told me I was smart, I was beautiful. And every time that I was feeling down and beating myself up about the way this guy made me feel like just crazy, like, you know, and chasing, it's like I was chasing him more than he was chasing me. You know, how they say a man has to kind of chase you when they want you. It's like, I'm not talking about like just beg somebody who doesn't want you, but like a little bit of that chase. The man is supposed to be doing that. Like, you can't be the one like texting them and calling them all the time. Like, are we gonna hang out? Blah blah. That's one of the things I learned. So when I started dating again before I met my husband, it was different. Okay, it was so different, guys. I was like, this is what I want. I literally had a conversation with my husband the first like 1 month or two. I'm like, so I was telling him that, I just finished my medical thing. I'm looking for a career. I told him that I do want a child. That's something I want in the future. And I do YouTube. I used to tell him like I do YouTube because the ex that I had before had an issue with YouTube, and I told him I do YouTube and social media. How do you feel about it? We started having conversation about real stuff, and I literally was like, I even took off the wig that I was wearing the in the car, and I was like, this is how my real hair looks, um, like just everything. And I was like, there's times this and that, like things that are not the most comfortable to talk about, and I literally was, this is it. I'm laying it out for you. This is who I am. This is what I want. What do you feel about it? And he was literally like, I'm okay. Like, I'm cool. I like spending time with you. Let's get to know each other. It doesn't bother me. Literally, and that was it. 8 years later. Like, he literally just was like, okay, queen, like, whatever you want. And he just was like, okay, well, we make each other happy. We enjoy spending time with each other. Like, okay, let's do it. So he was like, I'm going to give you that real ring one day. And I was like, stop. It was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was like, because he told me the first time we met, when we were about to go on a date, he was looking at me. He said I had an attitude because I was done. And I was like, you better come right and come correct, because I'm not dealing with anything. Like, I don't want to be, I don't want people that are, broke. Like, I didn't say it like that, but I was like, you have to be stable, because if in case like we have this child, like, are you gonna be able to be okay with me staying home for a little bit until he gets, how are we gonna do, all that? Like, we just started talking about stuff that's not fun to talk about. But hi. But at the end of the day, have those uncomfortable stuff. Talk about them. I told him, like, my temper sometimes gets out of control because I would get so worked up about things. I choke up and bottle up, and he was like, okay. It's like, okay. And then he's seen it sometimes, and he's like, he just leaves me alone for me to calm down. But I told him that's one of my flaws, is that I have a temper sometimes that goes up, and things really will upset me, and my face will show it all, and I'll choke up. I won't say anything. I'll just get really quiet. And he was like, okay. He wasn't scared. He was just like, okay. And then he started telling me about his stuff, what's going on with him. And I was like, you know what, that's fine, we'll figure it out. And we did. So I just, yeah, it's, be hopeful, guys. Just be hopeful if you're dating. It's really amazing when you find somebody who loves you and somebody that cares for you, somebody that got your back. It's the best feeling in the world. Like, I joke that I'm living the soft queen life because I sleep really well at night. No, he never did, and that was the weird thing. And you know what? He was playing African music early on when we were dating, and I said, "How do you know that?" I never told him the artist. He was listening to African music, and I said, "Isn't this something?" Because I looked at him, I'm like, "How do you know those things?" And he was like, "Oh, I was listening to that." And I looked at him, I'm like, "What?" You see what I mean? Like, when you talk to God and you ask him what you want, like I prayed to God and I was like, I want somebody stable. I want somebody that has a good character, somebody that loves their mom, somebody that has a good relationship with their family, somebody that just is kind like me. I have a big heart, I was like, somebody who's kind, somebody generous. And everything just kind of mashed by itself. And the music, the African music, that one threw me. Okay, I don't know what. Yeah, thank you. I don't know what and everything just kind of just lined really nicely. Conversation was smooth. Everything just was smooth. And now I realize, I'm glad that my instinct was right. You know, I was like, I was like, I want a guy that's going to be a good dad, that wants to be a dad, not somebody who's like, oh, well, but I was like, I want somebody that wants to be a dad because I was ready to be a mom. I was really ready to be a mom. And I was like, you know, and he was like, yeah, I want a kid too. And I was like, this is perfect. This was perfect. Perfect timing, Because other people were like, oh, I don't know. I'm still trying to find myself. I'm trying to find my career. And, blah, blah, blah. With him, it wasn't that. He was just like, yeah, I do want a kid too. Very simple, easy, you know. I just have to get him on the live one day. We're going to be on live together. He was like telling me no the other day. I was like, you got to get on live with me so you guys can ask him, and talk to him because he's like, he doesn't want to be on camera most of the time. And, yeah, I was like, you can tell him and just be honest and how he feels to be married and stuff like that. So one day I'm gonna surprise you guys. He's gonna be on live. Yeah, he's coming. Um, yeah, but he's just a mellow person. I'm the opposite, so opposites attract. I'm really the opposite of him, and but it works out, because I really was nervous. Like I was like thinking like, uh yeah, I got these from an African store. Speaking of African store, I did a TikTok talking about how a lot of African stores, there's not a lot of customer service existing at all. And this video is kind of going viral on TikTok, and a lot of people didn't like what I had to say. So they left me a lot of negative comments and telling me like, well, go somewhere else. And I'm like, I was trying to support African, and go somewhere else, blah, blah, this, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm just stating this has been my experience. I've gone to African stores. I've been ignored. A lot of things sometimes don't have prices on them. When you ask somebody, it looks like you asked them for, I don't know what, like they give you that stank look like, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry for asking for the price. Or they're on the phone calling Africa being really loud that you can't even hear yourself. So yeah, customer service is non-existent, and somebody made a good point that it's because in other countries there's no standard for customer service. Like there's no survey at the end. that you can rate and talk about how your service was. Um, so they do whatever. You know what? I think that's what the issue was. Yeah, yeah. It just. It's like I'm just saying what my experience was. I didn't say, "Oh, this is the store. It's the horrible store." I didn't even name the several stores that I've gone to buy some of the African food things, and it's just like awkward because nobody talks to you. You feel like you're in the store by yourself, but they're watching you, but they're not talking to you, and they're talking. Sometimes the line is like going out the door, and they're talking. They're talking about randomness, and you're just like, one time I even walked off. This was a Jamaican store too. I walked off because I was so pissed. They put the time for the thing on the door. I checked on Google, got there, the door was not open. I see the owner on the inside or some guy that works there just doing whatever. And I'm like, you're supposed to open at this time. I'm knocking on the thing. And he was so rude to me. And I just took my stuff and left because I was like, you're not going to talk to me that way. Like, he just mumbled stuff to me through the window. And I'm like, so it's my fault that the store opens at this time and you're not opening. Like, I just took off. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. So sometimes all together, I don't even bother. I'll eat my spaghetti and not make African food because I don't want to deal with it. So people told me, go elsewhere and just go figure it out. And I'm like, that's fine, which is what I've been doing. But sometimes I'm craving a certain thing and there's certain stores that have it. But it's like, so now I have to just be like, just avoid it. But just avoid it altogether. It's like, excuse me? So people, when people rant, it's like, well, this and that. And it's like, and that's literally what somebody told me. Like, you're speaking your truth. What is, don't worry about him. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to continue to talk about whatever the hell. Well, does YouTube filter that? I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. Like, leave me alone. Like, and it was, some African women telling me these things. And I'm like, so you guys are not fed up with some of this customer service that's non-existent? You're not fed up? And nobody's like, there's people talking about it, but not enough. I feel like if more people did, they would, it's like you're paying for stuff. You're not taking the stuff for free. They're charging. Like some of the little flour things to make, like a little bag is almost $10. So I just was like, what is the issue? Every time I come on there, like talking about something, TikTok has been known for this. Okay, remove that. um, yeah, literally, like it's just been weird. Some Indian stores also do this where they totally ignore you, and some I've been looked up and down by everyone. Like, what the heck am I doing in that store? And I was like, I love some stuff, some Indian food stuff. I love some Indian products because we use them also as Africans. We use some of their stuff. And so I go to the thing and I'm like excited, like, oh my God, they have this, they have this. And you go there, you're being looked at like, why is she here? You know? I'm like, if anything, I understand there's no customer service in other countries, but when you come to America and you want to get people, I'm thinking that just try to adapt a little bit. Support, like for people to support your business, just a little bit, just a low would not hurt. I mean, if somebody asks for a price, just tell them. Like, what is that attitude about? You don't put prices on things, but when people ask you how much something is, oh my God, it's like you're asking them for, oh, I don't know, to drive you somewhere. I don't know. They just give you that stank look. I hate it. Like they don't want to be there. You're bothering them. But when other people come, like somebody said, oh, they've noticed when other races that are, uh, you know, come there, they're super nice. Hi, sir. How are you? How can we help you? But when it's other black people, for example, like another African going to an African store, the treatment is different. And so I'm like, if anything, Africans are gonna buy more of this stuff more than anything, right? Because they know, like if you go to this type of store, you know that, oh, they're carrying like Kenyan products, so you know that stuff. You're gonna buy more of them. I would think. But you should be nicer to that person way more because I'm thinking they're gonna really spend that money. But no. So maybe this is it's a bigger issue. Somebody said it's a bigger issue than what I'm talking about. I'm like, you're right. It's a way bigger issue because it's like we as, and then I was trying to talk about there's a whole thing going on TikTok where there's a lot of black people that are boycotting Africans altogether, African business, African stuff. And I said that it was sad to me because at the end of the day, if we don't work together, even people are like, oh, you're just saying that you guys don't like us, you guys don't deal with us. And I'm like, my point was, it's sad because at the end of the day, we are all black people, right? We're all black people, and if we were together, it would be so much better, right? So if you are saying that you're boycotting, and people from afar are looking at that, like, look at how divided they are, look at them, going back and forth with each other, like, that's where I was coming from. And I was like, that's what's sad to me, because that's the bigger issue. It's like, we're divided. We're really divided in so many ways, because it's like you're fighting within each other. So at the end of the day, what is that solving? What is that solving? So those are the things that lead to, oh, another African person is going to treat another African person badly versus another race coming into their store. That's what it is. It's like, oh, I don't need to talk to you. I'll talk to the other race. Why do I have to talk to you? So it's a battle between. So that's to me, that's what's sad to me. We have miscommunication, yes. When I moved to this country, a lot of people that made fun of me were a lot of black people from here. I was angry for a while, and I was like, it's not fair that I'm being made fun of, like I'm being treated this way. Later on, I said, okay, people have their own issues going on. But then I also realized that from the start, the foundation was already messed up to begin with. So now everything makes sense. I mean, we are battling each other. And at the end, people are just looking, and what I'm talking, just looking like, look at them. So that was a lot of miscommunication for me. When people say like Africans are disrespectful to black people, I'm like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. But also we are not communicating, so we can't learn. It's like, okay, I need to stop. I just stopped. It just made me sad. I'm like, I don't know. I just was bothered by it. So it's like, if you know how they take knowledge is power. If you know what's really going on at the end, and you try your best to, I don't know how to say, yeah, if you know better, like, to know the foundation is yeah. Somebody was asking me why I said it's sad, and I'm like, because at the end of the day, we're just literally fighting each other in so many different ways, and there's people that are happy about this, you know because yes, I was angry, like, for example, about black people treating me a certain way. The black people that I dealt with when I was in junior high, high school, early high school, being made fun of was not cool. It really was sad. I was like, why are these black kids doing this to me? I'm like, what's wrong with me? And then I realized some of them didn't know. They saw whatever they saw on TV. That's what was pushed out. They thought Africa was this way, Africa was that way, because of what they saw. So they assumed every African is going to be behaving a certain way, dressing a certain way. And so that's the treatment that I got. And so later on, as I went to college and I took a lot of classes, I started learning some of the stuff, the history of some of the stuff, for, I think it was African American studies and all that. And just, realizing, oh, so this is way bigger. This is not just about a kid making fun of you, like, so knowledge is just beautiful. Like, you learn so much, and then you realize, oh, this is why this is happening. So yeah, it just, I was like, I don't have resentment. I did try to date, like, for example, black men from here, and that didn't go so well. There was a disconnect, some miscommunication. Like, when I was interested in a black man from here, I would date them, like, whatever, and we would talk, and later on I would bring up that, if you're interested in ever marrying me, there's things that you have to do, a cultural stuff that you have to do. And they would say, yeah, sure, it's cool, we could do that. But then later on, when he came to it, you could see, like, nah, I'm cool, I'm not doing all that. And it's like, you want to be with me, right? And you want to get married someday. These are some of the things that, for my culture, that you have to do. And I wouldn't mind doing the stuff that you guys do. You know what I mean? And he would just be like, no, I'm cool, I don't want to do that. And I was like, okay, this was happening a lot. So I'm like, when I started getting serious and saying this and that, all of a sudden A lot of the black men were like, they were not cool with it. So I was like, okay, you know, how do we communicate and explain? Yeah, I was being upfront because that was a big part. It's a big part of who I am. Like, there's cultural stuff that you have to do when you're marrying, like, for example, a Kenyan woman from a certain tribe. You have to. There's certain things you have to do. Are you okay with that? Because if I bring you to my dad and I introduce you, you're gonna be the husband. There's no you. I'm not just introducing you, you know, and the step by step things that you have to do. Are you okay with that? Because that's why they say some other races are very open in that they're able to just say, okay, well, this is what is required and what is required from your culture. Let's see how we can work this together. Not, oh, I'm cool. I don't need all that, you know. So that really, over time, I just got fed up with it, and I was like, you know what? I'll just try to date African men. And then I moved on from that. African men were also another. They didn't seem to be cool with me. I don't know. It never worked out. So at the end, I said, whoever comes to me and whoever finds me, then okay. So that's how I ended up in Mexico. No, I'm just kidding. I went all over the world. No, I'm just kidding. I just, just went on an app. But, go where you're appreciated. Okay, I'm appreciated in the Mexican community. I can say that things have been so good so far. I mean, there's people that are definitely racist that look at me like, why are you with her? Or what's going on here? Where's the Latina woman? Where is she here? Kind of like that look. And I'm like, whatever. Hi, Abel. I remember you. You know what I mean? So you just never know. You gotta be open minded. You just gotta be open minded. But you do try. Like I always joke that I didn't know that my husband was gonna be Mexican. I thought he was gonna be a black man, but it didn't go that way. I tried. Great. How have you been? Did you started school? Because my son starts school next week. I remember you said you were starting school. Yeah, but yeah, I've talked too much, guys. I gotta go. I need to go eat. Like I've been starving. Thank you, Sunshine, for being a moderator today and seeing you on the live. Yeah, it's so fun talking to you guys. I could talk all day, as you guys know. I could talk all day. I feel like I should do my career should be something where I'm talking. Maybe God has been trying to point me there too. Oh, you start next week, okay? Because sometimes I'm like, dang, I talk so much. I could be a saleswoman. No, I'm just, you know. I really enjoy talking. Just don't before coffee around 7. Don't talk to me. I can't do it. I need to have coffee. Yeah, I need to get myself out of bed because I'm struggling. Yeah, you too. I am struggling this morning. Like I remember like 20s, early 30s, like I would just get up and go. Now it's like I have to talk to myself out of bed because my body's aching, everything is hurting, and mentally I'm just like checked out because running around with my kid, like trying to just. Oh no, you don't have to apologize for that. Life happens. I wasn't on the live yesterday. My back was hurting. And then I had to go to work with my husband. We finally finished this deck that we're working on from last 2 weeks ago. So I was checked out yesterday. I'm like, I don't want to be on no live today. um, but I'm happy Sunshine came because I was like, I owe you a live at a certain time, and I was like, oh, I gotta come on here. Um, you know. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys later. Bye.